Why play Tahm Kench Top? Well, he is ridiculously hard to kill. He brings really good damage for a tank. He also brings a good amount of mobility, and he's a beast in a team fight. However, he is weaker in the early game before he gets items, and he brings very little wave clear so can get pushed in. Tahm Kench's passive is his basic attacks deal additional damage on hit, and this additional damage scales with both his AP and his bonus health. In addition, his basic attacks apply a stack of acquired taste onto an enemy champion, which can be stacked up to 3 times, and when fully stacked, his Q and his ultimate gain bonus effects. Tahm Kench's Q is a straight line skill shot which deals damage to the first enemy hit and slows them. If this hits an enemy champion, he also heals himself, but if the target has 3 stacks of acquired taste, they're instead stunned. Tahm Kench's W is a channeled ability which causes him to place a circle on the floor. After a short amount of time, he then explodes out of this floor, dealing damage to all enemies hit and knocking them up. If this hits at least one enemy champion, a large amount of the mana cost and cooldown are refunded. Tahm Kench's E has a passive where he stores a portion of the damage he's taken as grey health. The amount he stores is massively increased while there are at least 2 enemies nearby. While this ability is off cooldown, if he's not taken damage for 4 seconds, he consumes his grey health to heal a good amount. The active of the ability converts his grey health into a shield. Tahm Kench's ultimate can be used in 2 different ways. Firstly, it can be used on a friendly champion to swallow them. With an ally inside him, Tahm Kench gains a large amount of movement speed, and the ally gains a large shield and becomes untargetable. After 1 second, Tahm Kench can reactivate the ability to spit them out, or the ally champion can move to get out. This can also be used on an enemy champion once they've got 3 stacks of acquired taste. During this time, Tahm Kench is slowed, and the enemy is suppressed, and when they're spat out, they take a chunk of damage. In addition, if they have 3 stacks of acquired taste, Tahm Kench can eat them from range by using his Q into his R. For combos, start with 3 auto attacks into your Q to stun, which guarantees your W. After this, attack 3 more times into your ultimate. And a great engaged combo is to ult a friendly champion who's also good at engaging and then W into the middle of the enemy team, before following up with 3 auto attacks into a Q. For matchups, Tahm is great into a lot of lane bullies as he's simply too hard to kill, but he can struggle against some champions who are simply too good at cutting through tanks. For runes, this is a great standard page, and this is a great page if you want to be aggressively running at your opponent. For build order, start Shield and Pot into a Heart Steel and Tier 2 boots. After this, a Sunfire and Thornmail are great pickups before finishing your build with any of these as needed. For skill order, start Q then W then E before maxing Q then W then E, taking ult whenever you can. For summoner spells, take Flash and Teleport. Ghost also works incredibly well. Starting the game, your main focus is going to be on both farming and looking for good trades and poke. If your opponent is ever not standing behind their minions, throw a Q at them. It's simply great damage and heals you. And when going for a trade, if you can ever walk up and attack them 3 times into your Q and W, you'll have dealt a ton of damage, and between your grey health shield and the amount of CC, it's simply so hard to trade back into you. And when you hit level 6, you now have so much damage and CC, look for the kill. Entering the mid game, take your tower as soon as possible. From here, push it out as far as you can safely, before grouping up with your team for fights and objectives. Entering late game team fights, Tahm Kench can either play as the team's engage or the front line. If you're playing as your team's engage, eat an ally champion who also wants to engage and then W into the middle of their team. Otherwise, play the front line, and with your E, you can absorb a ton of damage. Between your Q and your W, you're also great at peeling for your backline, and eat your carry if they're ever in danger.